Hey peeps, it is Motivational Monday. It is Motivational Monday. And today, I don't know if you're going to find my story motivating or what, but I feel it's time that I make this video because most of you don't know who Theresa Roemer really is. All you see is Theresa Roemer now, Theresa Roemer the influencer, Theresa Roemer the YouTuber, Theresa Roemer the motivational speaker, Theresa Roemer, everything she is today, but you don't really know a lot about me and my backstory. And believe me, guys, we all have backstories. Every single one of us has a backstory. And a lot of people are scared to tell their backstories. Some people are ashamed. Some people, they just feel it's better to keep it a secret, maybe. I'm possibly going to have a few people come after me. One, definitely a family member, that is not going to be real happy that I tell my backstory, because I think this person's always wanted me to keep it a secret. One, maybe because this person never really wanted anyone to know that they were this way. I don't know. I don't know, because I own up to everything I've ever done in my life, whether it was good, bad, indifferent, or whatever. I can tell you and reveal to you every single thing I've ever done. Some things I've not been proud of, some things I'm not happy about, but you know what, I did it, and I have to own up to it. But literally, guys, a lot of you have heard, maybe whether you've read my book or whatnot, that yes, I was born and raised most of my childhood in Nebraska on a ranch. Was a sickly kid, rheumatic fever a few times, left me with a heart murmur, was a sickly kid, didn't really have a bright future ahead of me because of it, but I overcame it. I became an athlete, unbeknownst to anyone else in my family. No one else in my family was athletic whatsoever. I was the only one. Also growing up, always felt like I was maybe left at the wrong house, like maybe the stork had left me at the wrong house. I never looked like anybody else in my family. I didn't look like my mom, I didn't look like my dad that I thought was my dad at the time. I didn't look like my sisters. I mean, like, I literally didn't look like anybody. And sometimes my cousin Patty and I used to joke, because her and I both felt like neither one of us kind of looked like we belonged in our families. And it was around the 6th grade that I found out that my stepdad, who I thought was my dad, had legally adopted me, because we'd found our baby books. And my last name was different than everybody else's. And so that right there started to make me feel like maybe I wasn't loved by my stepdad as much as the other kids were loved by him, because I wasn't his. Not that this was probably true whatsoever, but I kind of made that up in my mind thinking that, because suddenly I didn't feel like I was as loved because I wasn't really his. Grew up with a lot of emotional, mental, and physical abuse. Like I said, a family member is going to come after me when they hear this, because this person doesn't want it to be known. They want to deny it. My sisters and I have had this conversation many, many times, because this person keeps denying that anything ever happened, that we all had this perfect childhood. And my sisters and I know differently. My older sister and I were definitely sexually abused by our grandfather. I can't remember if my little sister was or not. Really growing up in life, never really heard the words "I love you." Definitely really didn't get hugs. I don't remember ever being really emotionally attached in my childhood, which made me then later on, as I became an adult and a mother, made me know for sure that I wanted my kids to know how much they were loved. I told them they were loved 100 million times a day. But anyways, not to fast forward. So, you know, I can remember when I was 15 years old, we were in California, we were in Beverly Hills. I was taking pictures of all these beautiful mansions all over. And my mother kept asking me what I was doing. And I said, I'm taking pictures of these beautiful mansions because I want to live in one just like this someday. And I don't think anybody believed me. But I can remember literally we were driving away from California, and someone in the vehicle said to me, and I won't call this person out, but they said to me, oh wow, your real dad only lives a few miles from here, but oh well, you'll never meet him. And I can remember being so incredibly devastated, like, wow, here's my chance to meet my real dad for the first time, and you're denying me for that. Like, how painful. And I remember that long drive back to Wyoming thinking, wow, wow. And then I can remember when I was a senior in high school, I said to my family, I said, I want the address to my real father. He deserves to know that his first daughter, maybe his only daughter, I don't know at this point because I don't even know who else he's been married to or if he's got any other kids, but I said, he deserves to know that his daughter is graduating from high school. Whether he wants to acknowledge that or not, I don't know, but I want him to know. And it was really funny because I got a letter back from my dad explaining his whole side of the story, and there was this beautiful gold locket, and I remember opening that locket, and it was like looking in the mirror for the first time in my entire life and going, oh my God, this is who I look like. Holy Toledo. Like, all my life I'd grown up not looking like anybody, not thinking I belonged to this family, and now I open a locket and it's like, wow, this is who I look like. And so I wanted to go to my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary that summer. I was told I couldn't go because I was under the age of 18. I couldn't go. And so just literally a lot of heartache as a kid. But then, you know, I grew up thinking that the almighty dream was to get married and live in a house with a picket fence and have 2.4 children and live happily ever after. And so I tried to follow that dream instead of going to college or anything like that. And of course, ended up in a marriage for 7 years where I was physically abused and almost died in a closet one night because of it. So don't anyone out there ever let someone think for 1 minute when they tell you they're in an abusive relationship, and don't look at them and go, oh my God, just get out of it. It's not that easy. Like, literally, it was not that easy. I mean, like, for the first few years, I thought, well, hey, I've been abused as a child, so maybe being physically abused as a wife is okay too. I don't know, you know, until I just started doing more research and finding out that it's not okay, you know. But it's hard to get out of an abusive relationship because you get sucked into it. They start to tell you, oh, it's your fault. If you wouldn't have pushed me to that point, I wouldn't have exploded like I did, or I wouldn't have hit you. I mean, it's way, way, way easier, guys, to look on the outside and look into an abusive relationship and say to that person, I don't know why you can't leave them, because it's not that easy. You get sucked into it. It's a mind game. You start believing that maybe it is your fault. Then they tell you how much they love you and they're so sorry they did it until they do it again. So anyways, guys, yes, I endured a physical abusive relationship, marriage. Got out of that one finally filed for divorce. Fell into another marriage. I think that marriage was kind of like my knight in shining armor. Kind of that person was saving me from that evil past. Not sure if it was love or not. You know, I just was like, oh gosh, okay. Wow, this one doesn't hit me. Okay, wow, my knight in shining armor, you know. Had some children. That marriage didn't work out. And then my brother dies. My brother, my best friend, my buddy, my pal, like my everything. And that took the wind out of my sails. And so between my marriage being on the rocks and then a death of my best friend, my brother, that marriage ended too. And it wasn't until being at my brother's funeral and realizing everything he'd accomplished in his short 23 years that made me go, wow, I'm his older sister and I haven't even accomplished half of what he's accomplished. And I'm telling you what, something that day at my brother's funeral lit a fire under me that has never burnt out. Like, that fire burns so strong, and I can't even tell you why. And maybe that's what my brother's death was supposed to do for me, was to light that fire that will never go out. That fire will, that flame won't be blown out until they put me in the ground. Because his death reminded me of what I needed to do in life, and I wasn't doing it. So fast forward, I get out of that marriage, and that's when my life just totally, like, other than being a great mom, that's when my life, as far as careers go, that's when it just took off like crazy. I can remember being a single parent, and my very first place I got after that divorce was a little house. I didn't have any furniture. I had a TV, a microwave, and the clothes that we owned. My landlord had to throw a couple little mattresses on the floor for me and my kids to sleep on. I mean, like, literally, I started over. First marriage I got out of, I started over. I didn't want anything. I just wanted out with my life. My second marriage, I just wanted to start over. I just wanted to start over and say, let's just have a fresh beginning. Let's go. And so I look back in these 30 years and go, wow, where has time gone? Like, it's flying by, guys. But during that time, I became a successful bodybuilder and took the U.S. Open in bodybuilding. I owned health clubs. After sold health clubs, I became a health club consultant. I literally have trained movie stars when I was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, when I managed the Teton Sports Club and Spa. I mean, like, I've had a beautiful life. I've been on clients' jets, training people all over the world. It's been truly, truly, truly amazing. And from there, I came to Texas, back to California, from California to Texas, and started in real estate also. I've just had a beautiful career in the past 30 years, and it was only from my brother's death. I know it was. That's what started it all. But, and then in 2006, my son was killed in a car accident. And that's just something you can't get past. You just can't get past it, guys. And the thing that got me through it, though, was the same thing that got me through my brother's death. And it was working out. It was fitness. And to this day, I owe fitness my life, because fitness got me out of the unhealthy area of my life when I was a kid. Fitness got me through my first abusive husband that I divorced. It got me through my brother's death. It got me through my son's death. It got me through my dad's death in 2010. Fitness has always been my go-to to get me through life, as well as my faith. But in 2006, I lost my oldest child, Michael. And if you've never lost a child in your life, it's a death like you can't imagine. It's worse than losing your parent. It's worse than losing a sibling. It's worse than losing grandparents. It is probably the ultimate death that will take you down. And some people never come back up. Some people can't come back up. Some people don't want to come back up. And it took a big, deep desire down in my soul to not stay down in that dark, deep spot I was in 2006. And people look at me now and go, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can be so happy. I don't understand how you can just get through life. And I'm telling you guys, it's through a lot of prayer. It's through a lot of faith in God. It's through a lot of belief, knowing that I will see my son again and be with him again. But that death also inspired me to do so many of the things that I'm doing now. I started the Michael Dean Myers Foundation. It's a nonprofit where we help other underprivileged children and families. And I just know that I have to create his legacy for him, because he wasn't here on earth long enough to create his own legacy. So that's what I'm doing for my son. Like I said, in 2010, I lost my dad, also at a very young age. But through all of this, guys, I've had successes. I've had the success of creating a pillow line that I created with a former business colleague, which I also wrote my first book with her also, Nude, Unveiling Your Inner Beauty and Sensuality. From From there, the pillows in the book, I went on to create my own candle line. And we just this year are redoing the candle line, so it's going to have a fresh new look. I went on to create the True and Real clothing line. I went on to create the NI30D Athletics fitness wear line. I wrote 2 more books after that. Naked in 30 Days. Then I wrote my first romance novel, Scoring with Santa. Just, you know, and now these past few years, I've become a YouTuber. I've become an influencer. And, you know, the reason I'm going through all of this is because this person that you see right here hasn't always been this person right here. I have been deep down inside, deep down inside in my core and in my soul. I've always been this person, but you don't know the walk that I've had to walk. You don't know the struggles. You don't know the obstacles I've had to overcome. You don't know the dark sides. You don't know the deep. Sometimes I would have these feelings of, I don't know if I'm ever going to get my head above water feelings. You know, some of you just look at this person and go, wow, I want to be her. I want to be just like her. But some of you don't realize the journey that it's taken to get to this point of where I'm at. And am I about ready to stop? Oh, God, no. Hell no. Hell no. But I want you to know that it just doesn't, you don't just wake up one day, you're 19 and you're this way. You know, it takes hard work. It takes consistency. It takes creativity. It takes the never give up attitude. You know, I was just somewhere the other night, and this person was talking about how a couple years ago they were diagnosed with 2 rare forms of cancer, and they didn't know if they were going to still be alive 2 years later. And so that person set out to do more than he's ever done in his life. And that's what I do, guys. I wake up every day not knowing if I'm going to be here tomorrow. And I wake up every day going, today I'm going to do as much as I can possibly do because I don't know if I'm guaranteed that I'm going to be here tomorrow. I want to do more collaborations. I want to film more. I want to do this more. I mean, like, I just wake up every day and say, by God, I'm going to do more today because we're never blessed with being here tomorrow. And, you know, the other night, I was at a Cher concert, and Cher said, you know, sometimes I always felt like I never fit in. Sometimes I didn't know if I was a musician. Sometimes I didn't really know if I was an actor, actress. Sometimes I didn't know, like, where I fit in life, but I never quit trying. And, you know, she's 73, and she has nothing to prove anymore, nothing. But she's still out there hammering away every day, doing what she loves because she's passionate about it. And I guess that's what this whole video today is about, is I just wanted to share with you a little bit of my backstory, a little bit of my journey, a little bit of the ups, the downs. You know, it's just not always pretty. It's not always perfect. I can remember in 2011, I was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro for a charity, and I almost died, guys. I almost died on that mountain, and I can remember praying to my son with every step at the top as I gasped for air. And I remember saying, God, baby, just give me your lungs. Baby, just help Mama. Just help me. Like, I just need your help. I just, you know, and I truly feel like there's so many times in my life that my son is literally with me. Whether it was on Mount Kilimanjaro when I was almost dying and I needed his help, or whether it's in some of the things I do, I just always know that he's still with me, and I still have so much more to do in this life. And whether it's on YouTube or as a beauty influencer or as a what, I don't know, guys. And sometimes I don't know where I fit in, but I just know that I'm here and I have a purpose. And so That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You know, sometimes you guys might feel like you don't know where you fit in. Like, where do I fit in? Am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to be there? Where am I supposed to be? You know, guys, it doesn't matter where you fit in. Just keep doing you. You know, if you want to wear a blue wig, wear a blue wig. If you want to wear, you know, look at Cher. Cher's whole life, she's worn wigs. Cher's dressed weird. Cher's dressed the way Cher's wanted to dress. Like, you know, she said it perfectly the other night on stage. You know, just do you. It doesn't matter if people accept you or not. You know, just do you. And that's what I feel like every single day. You know, I may not be socially accepted at my country club. I may not be socially accepted with some of the high society women that think they're better than me. They're really not. No one's better than me. We all sit on the toilet the same way. We all breathe the same air. We're all the same. And so whether people want to socially accept you or not, it's okay. I tell people all the time, I march to the beat of my own drum. I don't do what society expects me to do. I don't do what society expects is the norm. Oh, this is the way you're supposed to be. I don't do it, guys. And I don't care. I don't care if I walk into a room and have people look down their nose at me like, oh my God, there's Theresa. She stood naked in Times Square. Oh my God, I can't associate with her. Well, good. I don't need to associate with you either. Because that took a lot of courage to stand naked in Times Square for the cover of that book, which the publishing company wanted me to do. Do I regret it? Hell no. That was so empowering, guys. So empowering. It would probably be no different than if you were asked to do a photo shoot for Playboy and be naked on the cover of Playboy. I don't know. But all I know, it was very empowering. And so I'm just one of those people, guys, that I'm just not going to live with any regrets. None. I'm going to get out there and do everything I want to do. And so whether people think I'm socially acceptable or I'm a disgrace, I don't care. I really don't care. I have done so many things in my life to be so incredibly proud. I have done more things than most people wish they could do in their lifetime. And I'm not even done yet. I'm an accomplished author. I am a lifestyle entrepreneur. I coach people. I come out with my own clothing lines, candle lines, whatever. Whatever I want to come out with, I come out with. I'm looking at maybe a beauty line this year. Like to me, there's no stopping me, because I have faith in me. And regardless of whether other people have faith in me, whether your family has faith in you, it does not matter, guys. Get out there and be the best you can be every single day. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. No, don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because you are special, just like I am special. Don't let anyone, just get out there, guys. Get out there. Do it. What are you waiting for? The grass has grown on your feet. And while you're sitting there waiting with your thumb up your butt, somebody else is going to get out there and do it. And then you're going to go, gosh, why didn't I do that? You've got to live life, guys, with no regrets. So I just hope today gives you a little tiny peek of my past, a little tiny peek of my story, my backstory, and a little tiny peek of my journey. It hasn't always been easy. It hasn't. There's been so many times that I've wanted to throw in the towel and give up. But there's that burning desire inside that said, it's not time. It's not time. So with that said, guys, get out there. Find me everywhere on social media. I am everywhere. And I just hope that I help motivate you today to be the very best you can possibly be. So until next time, bye-bye.